don't want to start out by making excuses, but life happens. December wasn't necessarily the greatest period of time for the entire team, and we've all been fighting our own demons and dealing with priorities. Families are prioritized over a race car, and it always will be. And if somebody falls ill or somebody's needing assistance, we're going to rush to that before we rush to a race car. So things have been a little quieter, and that's put us really under a crunch for this deadline. As it stands, we're still waiting on things. We can't execute the next step of the build until certain things get back. We've pretty much pushed as far as we can up until this point, but now it hinges on others.
It's been a couple of weeks, so I don't remember everything, and I'm pretty sure I was a lot further along than this. It's amazing how you sit down, look at what you've done and go, geez, I've done nothing. So much to do still. More wiring. And I have 10 days to do it in, because I made a commitment to all my buddies here that I would be done by the 5th of February. It's the 25th of January.
So Trip, it's a rat's nest. We have a switch plate in, it's all good. Other than that, well, yeah, not much has happened.
Really?
Well, there's been a lot of planning. We went over all that planning in the previous video. Between that video and now, though,
We've done nothing. So what's it been, 2 weeks?
I think it's been longer. It's been closer to maybe 3. I was in India 2 weeks ago.
I did think about it a lot.
You thought about it a lot. Okay. So then why is there so much thinking happening now then?
Because
Surely you should have gotten that done and out of the way.
I can't think good.
no, I didn't think good, because then I got here and he's onto something. I had it all thought out,
Yeah.
and now I think wrong.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at it and I'm like, it doesn't fit. I'm going to make it work. The front end will be done today. Come hell or high water. I want to start getting everything to that junction point so that at some stage I'm sitting in the seat wiring up.
Why he says that
Look,
7 at night.
we don't have to look at the time or the dates. Basically, what you do is how we started it. I had a ponytail, didn't I? Then I went short, and then I went bald. And now look,
It's grown back.
it's growing back. So by the time Ray's done with the wiring, I'd have a
Can you
ponytail.
imagine how big this beard's going to be by then?
You're gonna be ready for Christmas.
I'm going to be ready for it next November. No,
Rocket.
no. 10th of February.
5th.
I couldn't sneak that one in.
No, 5th of February.
Okay.
Nice try though.
We took a bit of a break. When I made that commitment, it was 4 or 5 weeks to go, and there was plenty time to get all the wiring done. Now it's 2 weeks.
Okay, but in the background, something has been happening, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And we at least got some updates.
No, well, we've got some
up-
good news because we've managed to put the motor in to engineering and we've got feedback from them. So now we basically just need to put it in once it's back. But the nice thing is they have resized our pistons for us. So we've done 40 thou over. They've checked the cam, they've checked the crank. So basically we just need to get that motor back. Hopefully, well, today was supposed to come back, but then obviously had a nice big long conversation with Oak. And
He's doing a little extra for us.
doing a little bit extra for us. So he's going to be sizing up the rings for us because that's one of the most biggest headaches that you have.
Yeah.
Obviously, putting in a set of pistons and all that stuff, that's pretty much easy. But it's when you have to sit there sizing the pistons. So sizing rings and stuff, it's a bit of a headache.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting there for hours and hours and hours, the guy is basically, what he's done is he's spec'd every piston for every cylinder. And now he's going to spec every single ring for every single cylinder.
That's brilliant.
So that's going to make our lives a hell of a lot easier.
Fantastic. So we're hoping that in the next video we can actually show
Basically get that motor here, so then
nearly back in.
it's a small little lick of paint, I think. I reckon what we need to do is obviously, now that we've got a nice shiny engine bay,
And a nice pretty cam cover.
pretty cam cover
Well,
as well.
Tappet cover.
Well, yeah, tappet cover. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
But yeah, I reckon a nice little lick of paint and
Won't hurt.
won't hurt. I mean, if we've got a new motor, might as well make it
amazing.
look new.
Yeah. And this,
And it's all brand new shiny parts as well, so why not?
Those 5 minutes, all those little 5 minutes make the world of difference.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not money, it's effort.
True.
Most relationships.
Nah, opposite.
opposite, that's what they've told him.
Yeah, opposite.
Every 5 minute counts.
I don't know if I'm that into you. Oh, actually.
I've been idling around a bit around the workshop because, of course, we've been missing out on one of the key opponents, is the motor. We sent it through during December for the engineers to basically start miking up and start boring out for our oversized pistons. And yeah, I think it's about time that this motor comes back to us. We've been getting some good news about it. And yeah, now it's basically my time to shine. I know I've given Raymond a lot of shit for it. And I think it's only fair for Raymond to start talking to me about how long the motor's going to take. So I reckon it's time for me to, knuckle down and when the motor's here and start assembling it.
I just wanted to keep it that shape.
One of the things we knew when we were building the car is that whether it's the 9-hour or the 24-hour, we knew that we were going to need illumination.
Or load shedding.
Yeah, or load shedding, actually. And I think that's what prompted this, because load shedding is bloody depressing. I can tell you now the suicide rates have gone up just because of load shedding.
Still green.
But in any case, so
Sand it all down.
if you do take a quick squiz in here, we decided that the China Mall is our best friend, and we wired up some LED strips in the interior. So we're going to do this under the bonnet as well, and that's just going to help us work in the car, change drivers, work on the car at night. Boom, daylight. And it is bloody bright. Now imagine when this interior is actually clean.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Obviously some sanding down.
Where is this going? To the cluster. Yeah. That wire I was stealing? Oh no, goes there first. Okay, so it's not that one. This one. So the beginning of this build, right in the beginning, it was very exciting. There was a lot of things happening at the same time. Everybody was doing something and we were all around the car. And it sort of petered off and there's been tasks allocated and you've seen more individual people working on the car instead of teams of people working on the car. The 7-week deadline is daunting, but I'm looking forward to seeing us all on the car and the chaos of trying to get it finished again. So these are temporary bundles because I'm not convinced that everything that needs to be goes through yet. So I sit with insulation tape in one hand bundling while my eye notices that the hooter is not connected yet. And the spotlight for the side's not in the harness yet, and so on.
While we connected a router, we're going to have Wi-Fi.
Hooter,
Oh, router. Okay, my bad.
not router.
Why are we connecting the hooter to the spotlight?
Because every time we want to flash someone, we got to root them.
Oh, is that how it works?
Exactly.
It's an audio visual cue.
So I haven't really been active on the car lately. And it's not because I don't want to be, but I've just got quite a bit of work that I need to try finish up. And going through December, suppliers were closed, all of that. And obviously I had quite a bit of a backlog of parts that needed to get done. New season of racing has started and all the race cars need to get done. So at the moment, I'm just busy focusing on a Scooby. We're busy doing a full wide body kit. There's quite a bit of aero and carbon fiber work that needs to get done on there. And it's not really helping that, like 2 weeks ago, we had max 3 hours of electricity a day during a working day. So a lot of the times we're just sitting around, and the only time I can catch up is at night while we have electricity. So like tonight, exactly the same thing. I mean, last couple of nights I've been working late, just obviously trying to catch up with work. So I need to get on the car. I need to start focusing on it. But obviously I'm busy, like I said, trying to play catch up on both. But it's going to be a crunch time now to try and get this all done. Less than 7 weeks.
Check it.
Is that thing on?
It's a lot on.
More solder.
Not yet. And we'll do.
She gets knocked off the fucking building and then she's dead.
Always a good idea. Blow by the camera's microphone.
Oh, yes. That's going to work.
There we go. Yeah, so that's going to sound great.
Oh, gosh.
Soldering's a three-man job.
She was supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
It'll do.
It'll do. It's not going anywhere.
And then she gets knocked off.
So not as far along as I'd like to be. You always want to try and complete a task and tick it off the list and say, right, that's done, move along. But we made some solid progress again tonight. It just means that next time is a little bit easier and I can make a bit more progress.
There really is a crunch. We've only got 7 weeks until this car needs to be ready for scrutineering, and we're feeling the pressure. But we're stoked and we're still as keen to get the car there. So we're hoping that within the next, if what is effectively a week's worth of work, we can get this car finished. Dang, when I put it like that, this is actually rather scary.
It's a lot scary. I think the time away was good though. It was really nice and refreshing to pop into the workshop today and see everybody. I think a bit more upbeat than it's been the last couple of weeks. So I think the break was good. It was nice just to get together and talk a bit and have some fun and get ready on the race car.